To be honest, I don't really know what Olight was thinking when they designed this, because honestly, it doesn't even look like a flashlight. I actually pulled this out of my pocket at dinner the other night, and my family was like, what even is that? They didn't even really recognize it as a flashlight, and instead thought it was just another little gadget. The form factor, the modes, the carrying method, everything is just kind of weird here. I'm not really sure who their target audience is for this Olight. Yet after carrying it for a while, I think this might be one of the most useful lights they've ever made. Well, almost, because there's actually a few little ticks here that this light leaves me kind of scratching my head. This is the Olight Oclip Ultra. It's tiny, clips almost anywhere, has a spotlight, a floodlight, a UV light, a magnetic base, USB-C onboard charging, and somehow packs all this into something that's barely bigger than a key fob. But here's the real question. Is this actually a great EDC light, or is this just another gimmick? Let's find out. At first glance, the Olight Oclip Ultra is definitely different. It's pretty easy to see that right off the bat. If you're used to traditional tube style flashlights, this thing almost looks more like a Bluetooth headset or a clicky fidget toy. But surprisingly enough, this unusual shape is exactly what kind of makes it practical. Instead of just carrying this clip to your pocket, you've got this really big, massive spring clip that lets you attach this almost anywhere. Your hat, a backpack strap, shirt pocket, your belt, as long as it's under about 1/2 inch, this can probably clip onto it. And if clipping isn't enough, there's actually a really strong magnet built in the back, so you can stick it to a toolbox, a car hood, a breaker box, basically really anything made of metal. This kind of feels like it's definitely one of those lights that's designed to be hand-free use. It just kind of makes it that much more useful. It's about 2.2 inches long, weighs under just 2 ounces, and is powered by a built-in rechargeable battery that charges by USB-C in roughly an hour and a half. But one feature I really like on this light is this little selector dial. Instead of cycling through different modes, you simply just rotate the dial to spotlight, floodlight, and then UV. It's really fast, intuitive, and honestly one of the better interfaces I've kind of ever seen on a small compact light like this. It just works really well, and best of all, it's just plain simple. Now let's talk about what this little guy can actually do. You actually get 3 completely different light sources and modes. First is this far left mode, and this is of course this floodlight. This tops out around 530 lumens, and it throws out a fairly wide, kind of even beam that's really perfect for working on projects, just searching through a backpack, walking a dog at night, or just lighting up a room. It's the mode I kind of ended up using the most just because it's kind of practical. It's not going to cover a crazy amount of space because just look how small this light is, but it's still really usable and kind of my go-to mode here. And while in this mode, if you click and hold the button, you can filter through low, medium, and high. Then this middle mode is spotlight. This maxes out around 450 lumens, and it reaches out about 130 meters. It's obviously not really going to replace like a dedicated thrower, but for checking something just across the yard, it works surprisingly well for a light this size. Finally, this far right mode, this is UV. And now depending on who you are, this is either something you'll absolutely never touch or something you'll actually use constantly, though be warned because you might not like what you find. This is of course really great for checking hotel cleanliness or lack of it, finding pet stains on a carpet or couch, inspecting IDs or currency, looking for automotive leaks. It's just one of those features that's kind of nice to have when you need it. So we have 3 modes here, which are really nice and pretty acceptable. But the best part is just how easy it is to switch between them. I really like it because having this little dial is just super nice and easy to switch through. I don't really have to remember a crazy sequence of like 10 clicks to go through the different modes. It's just much simpler for a dummy like me. I really like going through the brightness levels. It's also really straightforward, just holding and clicking. Just really like this dial, and it works really well in this light. Now, clip is in the name of this thing, so I think it's only fitting we talk about it now. And this is where the Oclip Ultra kind of separates itself from about every other EDC flashlight out there, and that's for better or for worst. Because most flashlights give you actually just one way to carry them, just a pocket clip, and that's it. This thing actually gives you a couple different options. You can clip this to your hat. You've basically got a lightweight headlamp, though due to the lens facing this way, it will only point down, not out. You could also attach it to a backpack strap while hiking, have hands-free light. You could stick it under the hood of a car while working on your car. You could clip it to your shirt. You could throw it on a toolbox, stick it on a breaker panel, hang it in a tent. The list just really goes on and on. I like the clip and I think it's interesting, but it's not perfect. For one, carrying this in the pocket just like a normal light just flat out sucks. I tried pocket carrying this at dinner the other night. It just kind of juts out of the pocket due to the clip, and you have half the light sticking out of the pocket. In cases like this, I kind of wish this clip was actually gone and actually replaced with a standard pocket clip. If this had a true pocket clip like those found on knives or smaller EDC lights, I think this would just be such a huge upgrade, as with this flat size and kind of low profile, a true pocket clip would just make this a really, really excellent EDC light. So even though this clip is marketed as the big feature here, I honestly really don't like it. My final nitpick with this clip is actually the magnet. Because at a glance, you'd probably imagine the magnet is here at the bottom of the light right here. But in fact, the magnet is actually in the clip itself. The body and the construction here is made of Olight's own O-aluminum alloy, which the company says is significantly harder than standard aluminum, making it much more resistant to scratches and abuse. I'm not really abusing this thing and tossing it around really hard, so it's kind of hard to give my opinion on the strength of the material here, but it does feel nice in hand and I think it's pretty cool. So is this worth buying? I think the answer kind of depends on what you're looking for. On Olight's official site right now, this has a retail price of $49.99, but is currently on sale for $29.99. At the full retail price, I think that's pretty crazy and not worth it there at all. At the sales price, it's a much easier pill to swallow. I actually bought this one secondhand off a Facebook group for just $20, and I'm much more happy with it at that price. So if you want maximum brightness in your flashlight, this isn't it. If you want the longest runtime, there are better choices out there. If you need long distance throwing ability, again, definitely not. But if you want a pretty compact little flashlight that can do almost everything reasonably well, this becomes a really compelling option. You get 3 different light sources, you get a magnetic base, a strong clip, USB-C onboard charging, really great build quality, and a really incredible design that makes it useful in situations where a traditional flashlight just might not work. The only downside I kind of mentioned is because it's so compact and small, you're kind of working with a relatively small battery. So if you're constantly using the higher modes and output, it's going to step down a lot quicker and require more frequent charging. And also, the trade-off for this pocket clip just makes it really uncomfortable to carry in the pocket, so I think this is probably better in like a glove box or a backpack. Overall, I think Olight absolutely nailed the concept here, even though if it didn't really work fully fleshed out. The Oclip Ultra isn't really trying to replace your full-size flashlight. It's trying to be a light that's kind of always with you, the one you actually carry because it's so easy to clip onto anything. But with that clip, I personally found it didn't really work best for my use cases. It's weird, it's different, but after using it, I understand why so many people really love this design, and it makes me really, really wish they would keep this footprint and ditch this clip and just add a true pocket clip found like on other lights. But I'd love to hear what you think though. Would you carry something like the Oclip Ultra over a traditional flashlight, or you still prefer the classic tube style design? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.